Hello, another um, video lesson on the law of cosines. So, solving a sus triangle. Okay, the law of sines was good for ASA, AAS, and SSA. So, why would the law of sines not work for a sus triangle? So, because it only works for cosine, law of cosines. No side opposite from any angle to get the ratio. So let us consider types of triangles with three pieces of information shown below. Thus, you may have a side and an angle, then another side, and another. You may have all the three sides. You may have all the three angles. So this case doesn't determine a triangle because similar triangles have the same angles and shape but blown up or shrunk down. So this will not be included for the law of cosines. Only SAS and SSS. So we can't use the law of sines on this because we don't have an angle and side opposite it. We need another method for SAS and SSS triangles. Yan ang tinatawag na law of cosines. So these are the formula for the law of cosines. C squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cosine C. B squared equals A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cosine B. A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine A. Yan. Use this to find the missing sides. And if we're trying to solve for the angles, we can use these formulas derived from these formulas also. So cosine A, B squared plus C squared minus A squared over 2BC. Cosine B equals A squared plus C squared minus B squared over 2AC. Cosine C equals A squared plus B squared minus C squared over 2AB. Use this to find the missing angles. Okay, screenshot. So do you see a pattern? So deriving the law of cosines. So we have here H is equal to B over B times sine A, and K is equal to B times cosine A. So write an equation using the Pythagorean theorem for the shaded triangle. So that's how we come up with the cosine law or the law of cosines. So since the law of cosines is more involved than the law of cosines, when you see a triangle to solve, you first look to see if you have an angle and a side opposite it. So you can do this for ASA, IAS, and SSA. In these cases, you'd solve using the law of sines. However, if the three pieces of info you know don't include an angle and side opposite it, you must use the law of cosines. This would be for SAS and SSS. Okay, we have here solve a triangle where B is equal to 1, C is equal to 3, and angle A is 80 degrees. So what we're trying to solve here is for side A, angle B, and side C, angle C. And since the sides given are two sides and included angle, we are going to use the law of cosines. So this is SAS. Okay, hint, we will be solving for the side opposite the angle we know. So for A, we try to solve for A. Okay, our formula will be B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine A. Substitute. Is one side squared, sum of each of the other sides para mas madaling i-memorize. 1 squared plus 3 squared minus 2 times the product of those other sides minus 2 times 1 times 3 times the cosine of an angle between those, which is 80 degrees. Cosine 80 degrees. So ganyan. 1 squared plus 3 squared minus 2 times 1 times 3 times cosine 80. Don't forget order of operations. Powers, then multiplication before addition and subtraction. So use your calculator now. The answer is 2.99. Did you get the same? 1 plus 9 minus 6 times cosine 80. So 10 minus 6 cosine 80. You multiply first 6 by cosine 80 for subtracting it from 10. Then get the square root of both sides. The answer is 2.99. Next, angle B. To solve for the angle B, we're going to use the formula Okay, instead of love cosines, pwedeng love cosines, but I think it's much easier pag love sines. Mas maikling formula kasi. So, solve for angle B. Sine 80 over 2.99 is equal to sine B over B, which is 1. So, cross multiply. Sine 80 times 1 divided by 2.99, which is, and then get the shift sign parang, to determine the value of the angle. So the answer is 80.77 degrees. And to solve for angle B, you subtract 180 minus 80 minus 80.7. The answer is 19.23 degrees. Okay, so, or 81.15 degrees and 18.85 degrees if you found C first. Solve a triangle where the sides are 5, 8, and 9. So, if the given are 3 sides, we can be able to solve for the 3 angles using the love cosines. And formula will be here: C squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2AB times cosine C. C squared is 9 squared equals sum of each of the other sides, 5 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times the product of those other sides, so minus 2 times 5 times 8 times cosine of the angle between those sides, cosine C. Don't forget order of operations, powers, then multiplication before addition and subtraction. So we have 81, that's 9 squared, 25 plus 64, 89 minus 80. So cosine C is equal to negative 8 over 8, negative 80. 81 minus 89 is negative 8. Divide both sides by negative 80. So, ganun. So, in your scientific calculator, just press shift cos 8 ABC 80 equals. The answer is 84.26 degrees. I hope you get the same answer. And to determine the measure of angles A and B, we will now use the love sines. Much easier pag love sines kasi. So, sine 84.26 degrees over 9 is equal to sine B over 8. 8 times sine 84.26 divided by 9 will be yon. Shift sign your calculator. Shift sign 8 times sine 84.26 divided by 9. Okay, the answer is 62.18 degrees yung angle B. And to solve for angle A, you subtract 180 by 62.18 minus 84.26, so the answer is 33.56 degrees. So try this. The sides are 6, 8, and 12. Okay, try to solve this. And these are the answers. Okay, try to show your solution and submit in the messenger. Also, this try it in your own. SAS, this is SAS, so you use the law of cosines. Here, SSS, so law of cosines pa rin yan. So these are the answers. And then only show your solution, send in the messenger. How about this? Wingspan. The leading edge of each wing of the B2 stealth bomber measures 105.6. Length. The angle between the wing's leading edges is 109.75 degrees. What is the wingspan? The distance from A to C here. Note, these are the actual dimensions. Yan. So, what we're trying to solve here is AC, diba? So, which is B. So, 105.6. Alright. Yan. Okay. 105.6 squared plus 105. Bale, equal pala yung A. Okay, equal pala yan. So, 172 feet is the length of the wingspan. Yan, using the law of cosines. More practice. We have here a triangle. Angle ACB is 122.5 degrees. Angle BAC is 48.2 degrees. Side AC is 35. Find BC, BD, AD, angle B, angle BCD, and angle ACD. Ito yung answer. So for H, yun. We use the sine. Yes. Yan. H over 35 is yan, sine 48 over 0.2. Sine 48.2 is equal, we use the sine function, yes, opposite over hypotenuse. That is the answer. Yan. And to solve this, okay, wala bang solution? That ends. Goodbye.